So coming to the next product update, um, and coming to the use case, what we have seen. So we have seen the need for consumer brands to bring in some of these segments that are created outside the MoEngage platform, along with some of the dynamic personalization data for that segment. The use cases can be multifold. For example, one of the use case, let's say if you're an e-commerce company or a commerce company, you want to kind of create a campaign targeting a segment of users that are created externally, where you want to kind of personalize with dynamic coupon codes, right? And typically, the current approach for a modern CEP platform like us is that you need to kind of import them in the form of user properties. But the use case in this case is just like you want to kind of have a short-term use case where you just want to use that data only for a given campaign. And similarly, we have seen especially for verticals like financial services, healthcare, telecommunications, where they have a lot of data that is sitting in their systems, where they want to kind of where they also have a workflow, where the data analytics teams are creating these segments and also kind of generating that campaign metadata, and where you want to kind of bring all this kind of campaign content and metadata into the MoEngage platform. And this use case can be about, for example, your credit card expiring alert that you want to, credit card payment expiring alert use case, or it could be a credit card statement use case. We have seen that some of these companies in these verticals where they want to kind of bring in these different campaign metadata and actually use it for their campaign use cases. The problem with these use cases is that if you bring the data for these use cases in the form of primary data models like user properties, which is one of the majorly used kind of the main profile table within MoEngage, it leads to various challenges. Firstly, because these are campaign level content or metadata, and if you're importing the form of user properties in the profile table, it creates a lot of clutter in your main profile table. And especially for verticals like financial services and so on, if you're doing hundreds of campaigns, you're actually kind of creating a lot of unnecessary profile properties, and which leads to a lot of maintenance. And also you need to kind of change your workflow in the way that you are actually doing it. To solve this kind of use case of like entities beyond the user profile, we wanted first also kind of give you some sense of the data models that companies in the space typically support. So if you look at the modern customer engagement platforms like MoEngage, I mean, we came up with the data models of user profile table, and you have a versatile events data model which enables brands to kind of bring in the real-time events from any data source. You can also bring your product catalogs and also device information, preferences, and so on. And there are these supplemental data use cases, as we talked about. These are specific to specific campaigns. This could be your campaign content, coupon code use cases, recommendation use cases, and these could be specific only to certain set of campaigns. And we have also seen that these supplemental data use cases are some of those supported by some of the traditional platforms like a Salesforce Marketing Cloud and Oracle Responses. Why, even though they do a bad job at some of the new age data models like events and so on. So what if we can bring the best of both worlds to you? And so we are today bringing the concept of auxiliary data, which basically enables brands to bring campaign level context or campaign level metadata into the MoEngage platform, and without kind of impacting your main user profile table. So it works in a very simple fashion. You can set up a manual upload of your supplement of your auxiliary data, or you can set up an automated sync from your SFTP or S3 cloud data source, and you can import them in the form of segments, and also import the whole dynamic variables, and you can easily reference in the campaign context. So as you can see in the image here, for a financial services company, if they're kind of creating a credit card statement sort of a campaign, you can just create an auxiliary data table for your credit card statements, and set up an automated sync and then reference it within the campaigns. So, and this product is very well built for the enterprise needs as well. But at the same time, the auxiliary data model is a very flexible data model. It has applicability for various verticals. If you're in the music streaming or media streaming vertical, you can, and if you have your weekly campaign, weekly trending music campaign to different personas, you can set up a one-time recurring campaign, and you can auto refresh this auxiliary table on a weekly basis without really coming into the platform and changing actually the campaign configuration on a regular basis. And similarly, if you're in a vertical like financial service, just give me a sec. Can you move to the next slide? Yeah. If similarly, if you're in a vertical, like in an e-commerce vertical or in a commerce vertical, or even a travel vertical, where you want to kind of bring in your recommendations, where you have a campaign for where you want to kind of include your recommendations, you can bring those recommendations in the form of auxiliary data and reference those in the campaigns as well. And coming to the next use case in the financial services, or even in the telecommunications vertical, you can actually, like we have seen our customers like Airtel in India, where they do kind of these subscription expiry campaigns. So and where they basically have this data that is coming from their backend systems. So they can actually kind of create an auxiliary table with a subscription expiry content and reference that within the campaigns as well.